This is reviewing decimal numbers. In decimal numbers, our anchor is always the ones place. And then we can go tens if we are making the large number. But when we're making a decimal, remember decimals numbers are, the decimal part is something that is smaller or less than 1. So it's a part of a whole. So after our ones, it follows, we go tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths. But in fifth grade, we just need to be very comfortable with going to the thousands place in decimals. If you notice, it follows the same pattern as ones, tenths, hundreds, thousand, and 10,000. So again, that 1, 10, 100 pattern is in all place values. How do we pronounce decimal numbers? Well, you always start with your whole number, and then you go to the last place value that's in your decimal. In this number, our whole number is 5, and you always say the decimal point as and the 1 is in the place value tenths. So we would say this number as 5 and 1/10. In this number, we have tens, ones, tenths, and hundreds. And again, we say the whole number first, 65, and the decimal point is and then we group this and say it's 14, and we leave off with the last place value's name, 1400ths. So you would say this number as 65 and 1400ths. Here we're adding another place value. We started with our tenths, hundreds, and now our next place value is thousandths. How we would say this number, again, the whole number of 65, the decimal point is and we would group these three numbers together as 142 thousandths. So this number would be 65 and 142 thousandths. We'll go to one more decimal place value. We have our tenths, our hundreds, thousands, and 10,000ths. And how you would say this number is, again, whole number of 65, decimal point is and we would group these four digits together and say 1,427, ending with our last place value that has a digit in it, 10,000ths. So this number would be pronounced 65 and 1,427 10,000ths. When we have no whole numbers, we represent 0 in the ones place. Remember, ones are anchor, and even if we don't have any whole numbers, we still have to place the 0 there. We would pronounce this, since this is our tenths place, and this is our hundredths place, this would be 46 100ths. Now that sounds exactly as a fraction. They're pronounced the same way, and we can write it both in decimal form and in fraction form. A number like this can also be represented in fraction form, and we're going to the thousands place, and we are grouping all these place values together, and we would say this is 567 thousandths. Now if we don't have a number, and we don't have any tenths, or we don't have any hundreds, but we have thousands, we still have to represent those place values and put in our zeros. This would be pronounced 8 1,000ths.